Okay, we've all seen our fair share of Genshin tier lists, all right? Well, now that you're here at the promised land, none of those matter anymore. Because today we're going to be talking about my favorite characters based on various things like design, the writing for the character, and their gameplay. In all honesty, I like tier list videos because they make a lot of conversation, and I thought it'd be fun to do one with you guys just for Genshin characters. So we're going to jump into a Genshin tier list where we're going to talk about every character in the game at this point during 2.1. We also have Toma on the list, so spoiler. But remember, if I don't like your character or I place them too low, it's not a personal attack. It's just a tier list. This is all my opinion. We're all friends here, but let's just kick it off. Let's start off with the main character, Aether. I guess Aether and Lumine can be together because they're our main character. Design-wise, I actually don't mind these characters. I think their design is really cool. I could probably do without his like rat tail, and I wouldn't mind Lumine to have a little bit longer hair. But in general, I don't think the characters are that bad. I don't think they have an opportunity to be that bad because they have no voice lines. And because of that, that is probably going to put them in D tier. Yeah, because even like their gameplay, like Geo is okay, but Animo and Electro, like who uses that? Anyway, moving on, we got Albedo. Now Albedo is a solid character that I don't have. He's dope because he can drop down his elemental skill and basically make every brand new character look like they're actually doing damage, which is sick. He's an awesome support character that just provides a ton of damage, and he's really good because he's another Geo, so Geo Resonance, hello, Zhongli. I think that's a safe spot for Albedo. I think B tier is going to be a safe spot for him. I like B tier for Albedo. If I had a little bit more experience with him, he could be A tier, but I don't know enough about him. I like his art. I think his art and everything alone is like solidifying him. He wouldn't drop any further below that just because of how cool he is. I like his writing. He's an interesting character to me, so I think that's a good spot for him. Next up, we got Amber. Next up, we got Ayaka. So Ayaka is a character that I wish I would have pulled for, man. She is such a cool character. The quest that we did with her was so awesome. Her writing is actually interesting. Her design is beautiful and her gameplay is stupid fun, man. I wish I would have pulled for Ayaka. I thought I was going to want Yoimiya, so I didn't pull for her. And boy, am I glad I didn't pull for Yoimiya. But I think Ayaka is a solid A tier character. She's super dope and I will 100% be getting her on her rerun. Next up, we got Beidou. Beidou is just nuts. Beido's ultimate does so much damage, and people that play well with her that can like get her counter perfect every single time literally never take damage. They never take any damage, and it's sick. And just the whole Pyra vibe is sick. She's a solid A tier. I don't think she's better than Ayaka, but I do like Beidou quite a bit. And I've been trying to farm an emblem set for her, and dude, that domain is just brutal. I hate it. Next up, we got Barbara. Barbara kind of showed up for floor 11, dude. People actually built Barbara, like straight up built her. Barbara's a really good healer with like decent scalings on her attacks, but overall, like she's kind of whiny. She's a little too like kawaii for me. I think she might be a D tier. She might be an F tier, man. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm gonna keep her in D tier for now. I don't think she's Amber level bad, but she's floating that line. Next up, we got Bennett. Dude, Bennett's just busted. Bennett is stupid good. You give him super high base attack, level him up all the way, give him a super high base attack weapon, and then from there you can just stack energy recharge and HP on him. And he's just insane. He does a decent amount of damage if you can build him with some crit rate and crit damage too. Bro, a well-invested Bennett can easily carry a team. The only thing I don't like about the character is some of his voice lines, but that's not enough to like get him out of S tier. Like he's still one of the most broken characters in the game. Next up, we got Chongyun. Chongyun's a really interesting character. I've seen his burst do really good damage, and he seems like a super solid like support character or sub DPS, but I don't personally have enough experience with him, and I don't think he's anything special. So I think this is probably a good spot for him here in C tier. I'm pretty happy with that. Next up, Diluc. I don't care what anybody says, Diluc is S tier. People say Diluc's boring to play. How? Bro, the combos you can get with Diluc's normal attack and his E ability is so much fun. I personally love Diluc. He's easily one of my favorite characters. His design, his abilities, his writing, bro, like he's like the super cool, like don't care what you're saying, like arms crossed in the corner of the room guy. Like, bro, I want to be that guy. That's so cool. I love Diluc. Diona, another character that I don't really have built. I have seen her do a lot of good. Her shield gives you some speed. You can make her shield super healthy with HP. And her signature mix does a decent amount of healing. She's not the best healer in the game, but you do kind of have a trade-off where she also has a shield. So she does like kind of look a little bit of both. Do I think she's better than Chongyun? I don't know. I'm gonna keep her in C tier underneath Chongyun. I don't think she's like that bad, but I don't think she's as good as Albedo. Once again, another character that I don't have built. I have C6 Diona, so I should probably build her, but she's just not very interesting to me. So we're gonna keep her in C tier. Next up, Fischl. C0 Fischl? But C6 Fischl, yeah, I think Fischl kind of falls somewhere in between here. I think she's around Albedo. I might like her. Yeah, I think that's probably good. I like her a little bit less than Albedo. Her design's amazing, but her voice lines make me want to put her down here with Amber. Bro, her voice lines are the worst in the game. They're so annoying to listen to. So yeah, in general, I think she's a B tier character. At C6, she's crazy powerful. She's an amazing battery for Beto, and she's just good to have Electro constantly applied to enemies. In general, I like her. Next up, we got Ganyu. Bro, dude, please assume your spot above everyone else. I love Ganyu. I want her to come home so bad. I got to play with her in that event, and bro, she was so much fun. I already have a full set ready for Ganyu. I farmed out all of her materials. All I'm waiting for is a rerun. This might be the first character that I actually go for constellations on. She's just so good, dude. So Ganyu, 100% S tier character, no doubt about it. Now here's where we're gonna get into some of the ones that people might not agree with my opinion. Hu Tao. I think she's like C tier, bro. I don't like the whole high risk, high reward thing that she's got going on. And I don't have Staff of Halma, so she's not doing like crazy numbers for me. She's fine. Her character's interesting. I don't mind her personality, but her gameplay and her kit, I'm just not a fan. She's a solid C tier. Yeah, I'll keep her C tier. Jean. I don't have any experience with Jean whatsoever, but I have seen a lot of gameplay of her. I like Jean because she can be built in different ways. You can really focus on her physical damage and still have decent healing. Her healing field has a cleanse. I mean, there's a lot of pluses to Jean. I really want Jean. That's the only 5-star I don't have off the standard banner. So I do think Jean is probably going to be like top of B tier, maybe low A. It's hard to say. I don't know. She's in between A and B. I'm going to keep her B tier for now because like I said, I don't know that much about her. I haven't actually been able to play Jean, so she might not feel as good as I think. But from what I've seen, she's got a really fun kit, and I personally really want to add her to my team. Next up, we got Kaya. I don't really know where I would put Kaya. I haven't built Kaya. I'm interested in building him, but the fact that you can't really get his constellations unless you either are pulling on the standard banner or you're getting him out of like the Star Glitter shop, I feel like his constellations bring a lot of value to Kaya. Him as a character, not that interesting. The fact that he has an eye patch bumps him up a couple notches. Eye patches are cool, but in general, I think he's okay. I'd probably put him in C tier somewhere around Chongyun. That looks good to me. Yeah, Kaya's above Hu Tao. Take that. Next up, Keqing. I haven't built Keqing at all. The Keqings that I have seen that are built, even like C6 Keqings. Yeah, if we're talking about Electro characters, I'd rather have Fischl. So sorry, Keqing mains. I'm just not a fan. I do think she is better than like the Traveler though. So let's not get that twisted. She's like the top of D tier, just below Hu Tao for now. Next up, Klee. I don't have Klee. I've played with her in the past and she seems interesting, but just the way she plays, like she's so clunky. I don't really like this character. I don't have her on my account, thank goodness. So I'd probably put her somewhere down here. I think honestly I would build all of these characters before I'd build Klee. I'm so sorry, Klee. I love her. She's super cute. She's just bad, man. Her gameplay is bad. Next up, Lisa. Lisa. I feel bad about this one. Yeah. I feel bad about that one. I do. I know Lisa has some like defense shred that she does, but I have no desire whatsoever to play Lisa or build her. The only thing she's good for is climbing mountains. Moving on, we've got Mona. Mona seems like a really good support. I've started playing her recently. She's not leveled up just yet, but Mona with a thrilling tails and her elemental burst leveled up is like a crazy amount of damage. So just for that fact alone, I think she's a solid B tier, maybe. Now see, now these lines are getting blurred. Now A and B is kind of getting blurred. Yeah, no, I think I'm right. I think I like her here in B tier. I think these two on the end are kind of interchangeable. Fischl and Mona could be like swapped and it wouldn't really make a difference. The main reason I like Mona so much though is because she's a good support for Ganyu. So yeah, I need to build her pronto. Next up, Ningguang. Ningguang is a super strong character. Ningguang is probably A or B tier. Ningguang's one of the few 4-stars that at C6 could easily be a 5-star. She is really powerful when you build her right. But do I think she's on the same level as Ayaka and Beto? This kind of hurts, but I think I'm going to put Ningguang at the top of B tier. I think she is probably better than, I mean, maybe not better in different situations than some of these characters, but I think Ningguang in B tier is probably the best place for her. She is a little clunky. You can build her with higher HP and she still just has such low defense that she just gets one banged by a lot of enemies. But that being said, her damage is pretty nuts. But as far as character design, solid. Like the dragon tattoo. Next up, Noelle. I really want to build Noelle just because I think her abilities look cool. I just don't know how like viable she is. I don't have any experience with Noelle, and even like the ones that I've seen that are well built don't seem to do that much damage. She also is a healer, so she has a little bit more than just damage in her kit. But I don't know, man. I don't know. This is probably right somewhere in D tier. I don't know that she's necessarily better or worse than like Klee or Barbara. She's just meh. Next up, we got Chi-Chi. This is a character that gets so much hate, and I actually really like her. I think Chi-Chi is probably B tier, maybe C tier. I think that's a little safer. Maybe the top of C tier, somewhere around here. Yeah, I think she's probably like a little bit better than Diona. Like I think she's, you know, her and Diona are on very similar spectrums. They're both cryo healers. Chi-Chi does lose out on the shield, but Chi-Chi does way more healing than Diona. Like the healing that Chi-Chi can do is crazy. And she's one of the best supports for Zhao because she can literally just negate the lifesteal altogether. Next up, we got my boy Razor. This dude carried me through like the first like 30 ARs, bro. Razor was the first character that I got to level 70. He's just a boss. But physical damage in general kind of falls off after a certain point. His constellations are decent. They're nothing crazy. I really like his ability. His ability looks sick, like the whole like summoning the big wolf behind him. I think that's a JoJo thing. I don't know. But in general, I really like Razor. I think he's a solid B tier, maybe C tier if I'm honest with myself. Whoops, not D tier. Maybe C tier if I'm honest with myself. But yeah, I think honestly in the grand scheme of things, he's probably closer to a C tier character. As much as I love him, I think his design, the fact that he's the only character besides Sayu with a hood, we need more characters with hoods. Hoods are cool. But yeah, for a while, he was the only character in the game with a hood, and I was really happy about that. But yeah, Razor's sick. People hate on Razor. I don't think he's that bad. Just because so many people hate on him and I think he's dope, we're going to put him in B tier. Bottom of B tier. There we go. Sucrose. This is a character that a lot of people have been building recently. She's a really good character. She has her place, but I do think since Kazuha came out, at least Kazuha like C6, Kazuha is kind of like just better than her in every way. But before C6, like Kazuha like C0 and Sucrose C6, they both can be used in different scenarios. I think she's probably B tier. I think she's better than some of these other characters. Like she probably fall like maybe just below Mona, like somewhere around there. I think that's probably a safe bet. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Tartaglia, child, my dude. Literally the reason why I started spending money on this game was Tartaglia. And for that, he is F tier. No, I'm just kidding. Absolutely an S tier character, simply because his design, his gameplay, his damage, everything about Tartaglia is just dope. I love the fact that I can run around with a bow, switch to a melee weapon, switch back to a bow. It's so sick. Between Tartaglia and Ganyu, they might be a few of the only characters that I really want constellations on that are 5 stars. I love Tartaglia. He's so sick. Next up, Venti. Busted. Absolutely busted. Now, recently when all the enemies were super heavy, and still kind of the case, he might have been down here at the top of A tier. But if I'm honest, dude, Venti, just for quality of life, just for walking around the open world, his character design, everything, like, dude, he's absolutely an S tier character. I love Venti. Next up, we got Xiangling. Now, I know a lot of people have been building Xiangling recently, and I think she's probably a good A tier character. She's probably at the top of A tier for me. I don't think she's an S tier character. I think she, as far as damage wise, yes. But remember, we're not just talking about damage numbers. We're talking about everything about the character. I think she's a little annoying. She's super cute. I like Guoba, but in general, she's one of those characters where you literally just pop her alt and then switch to something else, which I guess isn't too big of a problem. I don't know. A tier is respectable. I'm not mad about her being in A tier. A tier is fine. Look, S tier is reserved for those characters that are my favorites. Speaking of S tier, Xiao. I don't care what anybody says, bro. Zhao is one of the, if not the dopest character in the game. He's so sick. Everyone was talking about how great it is running around the world with Kazuha with his elemental skill. Bro, Zhao was doing that way before Kazuha. Zhao's dash is so satisfying. It can do so much damage. The only thing I don't like about him is the fact that his Yaksha mask, whenever you use his elemental burst, takes away health from him. It's the only thing I'm not really a big fan of. But like I said earlier, if you use Chi-Chi, you can literally just nullify that. Or if you use Bennett, most of the time he can stay healthy enough. And it's only 30% of his health, but it's enough. Honestly, that's the main reason why I don't like Hu Tao, is because she has to be played with super low HP. And every time you use her elemental skill, just walking around the open world, use her elemental skill, boom, there's 30% of her HP gone. Yeah, I just don't like her. But Zhao, we like Zhao. Zhao's sick. Next up, Xingqiu. Bro, he is nuts. He does so much damage. Is he above Xiangling? I think he might be above Xiangling. I think I would put Xiangling and Xingqiu like neck and neck, but I genuinely think Xingqiu might win this, at least for me. Xingqiu could be an S tier character if he had pants. That's all he's missing is pants. Get some pants on that boy and he'll be an S tier. Jin Yan. I have no desire to build this character. I have no desire to play this character. I just don't like Jin Yan, man. Nothing personal. Now, someone I am a fan of is Big Dong Zhong. Zhong Li, bro, easily one of my favorite characters. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna clear this up at the top. Once we get to the end, I'm gonna sort out like the S tier characters. But for now, Zhong Li, dude, he's up there. His story quests, his voice lines, his design, even his gameplay, dude. He has some of the coolest autos in the game. I love Zhong Li. The lore behind him is just amazing. He's such a dope character. Next up, we got Rosaria. I think personally Rosaria is probably an A tier. She might be a high B tier, but she gives a lot of crit rate to your team. Her ultimate is pretty dope. She can be built for physical damage. I like her as a sub DPS. I think as a sub DPS, she's amazing. And bro, like, she's mad hot. Rosaria is definitely A tier, probably bottom of A tier, maybe the top of B tier, like I said, but I like her in A tier just because I like the character a lot. Next up, Eula. She has the potential to do a ton of damage. Like some of like the videos of them like one-shotting the Primo Vishap is nuts. But if we're going to talk about how Diluc is boring, how can you say Eula's fun? It's literally the same type of gameplay. I just don't get it. I don't have Eula and I didn't really want her, to be honest with you. She's probably somewhere around here with like Razor on like main physical DPS. I think she's a little better, but just because of how much power she has, like her damage potential output is crazy. I feel like she's like top of B tier for me. Now, design wise, she's a woman. But in general, her gameplay makes her boring enough and her voice lines are kind of meh. Her writing's really good, but her voice lines are kind of boring. She's a B tier. Yanfei. This is another character that I'm not super excited about. Yanfei doesn't really do much for me, I'll be honest. She might be down here in F tier just because she's really boring. Like, I like Ningguang, but I don't like Yanfei. Does that make me a hypocrite? I don't know. For me, Pyro DPS characters like Hu Tao's more interesting. Zhangling's more interesting. Diluc's way more interesting. I just don't have any desire to play Yanfei. I feel like I'll never level up that character. That's just me. Next up, we got Kazuha. Bro, Kazuha's S tier for me, man. Just for like the character development alone. He's an amazing character. You can build him full EM or you can build him as like a sub DPS. I think sub DPS Kazuha is more fun personally, but his full EM build is really good for like buffing your teammates. In general, he's super fun, super versatile, and his design and his writing and his lore and his story and everything is just amazing. So Kazuha, easy S tier. Next up, Yoimiya. Let's go ahead and do that. Yoimiya is fine. I don't think she's doing anything special. I don't think she's breaking any records. I think she has some issues. And personally, I skipped on her just because she didn't look that interesting after a little while. But like I said, I don't think she's anything special. Next up, we got Sayu. Sayu's an interesting character. I don't know where I would put Sayu. I think Sayu's really cool. I love her character design. Her voice lines are amazing. Lily Pichu did a great job. I just don't know. I don't feel like she brings enough to the table to be on the same like plane as some of these characters, but I also feel like I would put some of these characters on my team before I would put Sayu, which really sucks because I love Sayu for like exploration. She's like S tier. So I think because of that, I'll bump her up into B tier. I don't know, man, it's hard to say. She's probably top of C tier for me. Like I'll run her just for exploration. She's great to have a Claymore Animo character that you can run around the open world with. She does her role. Super fun character to play. Not the best damage or utility in the game. Next up, we get what is this? What does this mean? Next up, we got Raiden Shogun. Bro, this character got a lot of hate. This character, people were pissed that she didn't work with Beidou. I wish that she worked with Beidou, but she doesn't, and that doesn't make her any less of a waifu. I think she is probably somewhere in the B tier. I don't know, man. I think maybe this is right. Maybe right here. Maybe the top of B tier. She's a little bit better than Eula in my opinion. I would rather have Ball on my account than have Eula on my account because I do have Ball on my account and I don't have Eula on my account. But yeah, I think in general, that's probably a safe bet. Place her right there. Dude, her story is amazing. Her story quest, I've heard not so much, but just thinking about her character, like throughout the Inazuma quest, bro, like I almost want to place her higher just for that, bro. Like her cutscenes, everything, like she's so dope. Yeah, A is A tier for sure. Kujo Sara. If we're talking about character design, like a triple S tier, bro. But when it comes to her gameplay, yeah, she's probably like the top of D tier for me. I might even build Kaching before I build her. She seems really fun. She'd be a good buffer for the team. I'm just not that interested to play her. Next up, we got Kokomi. Kokomi is a character that I really did not plan on liking, and I thought she was going to be pretty awful. But after playing with her a little bit, and if you haven't seen the video, you should go check it out. We just did a video recently talking about her and how I've been playing her. I think Kokomi in general is like a solid B tier character somewhere in here. Yeah, I'm happy with like that placement. Maybe like a little bit below Albedo, maybe a little bit below Mona. Yeah, something like this. Just her survivability that she brings to the table is really, really dope. Next up, we got Aloy. Aloy is a free 5-star that we got. I don't really have any intention on building her, at least anytime soon. I haven't seen anyone really talk about her too much, so obviously she must not be that interesting, but I don't think she's going to be as bad as these dumpsters. So yeah, we'll just keep Aloy right there. And then finally, Toma. Toma, we're just talking about his design because we don't know anything about his kit. And if you know anything about his kit, don't say anything in the comments section because this is a leak-free zone, okay? No leaks. I'm watching you, Johnny. Toma, just based on his character and kind of like his design and stuff like that, he's like, he's pretty cool. I'll put him in B tier. Since we don't know anything about his kit, I'll keep him at like the bottom of B tier, but yeah, I think that's pretty solid. Now let's clean up S tier a little bit. Bennett, as much as I love how busted he is, bottom of S tier. I hate that I have to put him in every single team just because he brings so much value. Diluc, I like Diluc. I think I like Diluc a little bit more than Tartaglia. Maybe not. I don't know. These two are kind of interchangeable for me. Who's my favorite red hair boy? I don't even know anymore. I don't know. These two are kind of interchangeable. Ganyu's definitely above both of them. Next up, Venti. I like Venti a lot, but I think I like Venti a little bit less than the other characters here. Definitely like him more than Bennett, that's for sure. Then we got Zhao. I think Zhao's right up there with Ganyu, if not interchangeable with Ganyu. Just because I have Zhao and I've invested into him heavily, I'm going to say Zhao is like higher up there than Ganyu, but we might revisit this eventually. Then we got Zhongli, and I'll be honest, just Zhongli alone, his gameplay, his ultimate, bro, this is a tight race. This is really tight. I think I use Zhongli more, and Zhongli's more useful. The two are really, really close. All three of these right here are really close. So I think I'm pretty happy with that order. Zhongli at the top where he belongs with Zhao and Ganyu. Honestly, all of these characters you could probably flip around. Besides, I like Venti a little bit more than Kazuha. So I think maybe these two could be A tier for me. But in general, I think this is probably a safe bet. I think that's our tier list in order, in the row and everything. Let me know your thoughts. What would you have changed on my tier list? What does your tier list look like? If you make a tier list, you should totally make a tier list and then tweet it at me at the Fonz Plays. But I'm going to make this video and then a couple days later, I'll probably post a picture of just the tier list and just let people go at it. Because I know people are going to be pissed at some of these characters that are low on this tier list. I also feel like a lot of characters that I know are good, but I haven't used, like Eula, Jean, Albedo, I'm just like, B tier, B tier. Like I said, I love tier list videos just because of how much conversation goes on around them. So let's start a conversation and talk about why you're mad that I placed your character in F tier. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here. And before we head out, a huge shout out to the members of the channel. Thank you so much for helping make these videos possible. We will see you on the next one. Peace. All right, now that they're gone, let's go ahead and fix this tier list. Let's just, there we go.